Guys and dolls, it's the 28th of August, Thursday, weekend's nearly here. So, the video today is about the Irish flags that we see and the Irish flags that we see at Palestinian marches and Palestinian flags that we see at Celtic games. It's just so people, it's educational and entertainment purposes, obviously. So, let's start with the Palestinian marches. Why is there Irish flags at Palestinian marches? Right? Well, this is a simple one because back in the 80s, the PLO, who was the Palestinian Liberation Organization, supplied weapons and explosives and training to the IRA. So the IRA would go out there and they would have training camps, like proper camps in the desert and all that. Or wherever, I don't know, like, it's not that clued up, like, but yeah, training camps, you know. Yeah, the Loyalists had a place where they went, and the Republicans had a place where they went, the other side of the world, believe it or not, for both of them, where they could train with weapons and stuff like that. So that's the reason why the Irish support Palestine at these marches. But let me just say this. It's a very, very small minority. And I imagine the people that are at these marches carrying the Irish flags, one, probably aren't Irish, or two, have Irish relatives, and three, have probably never been in Ireland, right? And they're far left. And they do it not just to bring their own country in it, but it's to make people think that, look, everybody around here supports Palestine, you know. It's misinformation, basically. That's what they're doing. It's live misinformation, believe it or not. So that happened. That was a long time ago, and that's why there's Irish flags. That's why they're able to say they support them, because of that going back, you know. Now the Celtic thing is pretty much the same thing. But it's mostly younger ones now. The older ones, like, don't support the IRA along with Celtic, you know. They leave the politics at the gate. But there is a small fraction, you know. I mean, a couple of years ago in where I come in Scotland, there was IRAs put all over the place because Celtic won some cup, you know. And like most of the guys doing it, they've never been to Ireland, most likely, and never been involved in anything like that. They've probably never picked a gun up in their lives, probably never been in jail. And it's very easy to sit a long way from a conflict and do that, you know. And they're not really thinking about the consequences of how it's making people feel because of the amount of damage that the IRA done, and both sides, you know. And I just want people to know, like, it doesn't matter what side it is, you know. My opinions will be exactly the same, you know. It's them days are over, you know what I mean. And it's a small minority still carrying it on, still trying to bring it through, you know what I mean. Because the IRA had a connection with as we say, the Palestinians, and they take Palestine, you know. But like I say, it is a very small minority. Now, when I was in jail in Scotland, I've made so many friends that are Celtic supporters, Glasgow boys, like, you know. And this isn't Shotts prison, it's a long-term jail. I was doing 18 years, so it was like everybody was doing 25 years and all that, and, you know, and they were all names, people knew them all, they were quite like household names as far as the criminal world went, and hardcore Celtic supporters, but no problem, absolutely no problem, absolutely brilliant guys, still in touch with them today as friends, you know, because we've all moved on, you know what I mean. We've all moved on. We've all grew up, you know what I mean. And that's, I don't know what else to say. But I'll give you another example. I was talking to a friend, and come on, boy, and he's got a huge family on both Scotland and Northern Ireland, and some of the family, like distance family and the other, they're all involved, you know what I mean, or most people are involved in Belfast and London, Derry, or Derry, as you like, whatever. Most people are involved some way, or know somebody that's involved with the troubles and what was going on in the last 30, 40, 50 years. So, with saying that, we're talking about a Protestant family. Who's Protestant family? And one of the brothers supports Celtic to this day. But when he was younger, when he used to write his name on Celtic, he used to always write Pira. Like, he was really young, he didn't know. But it shows you how the young ones connect. Like, because of that used to it. But it's our fault. It's our fault. We there's no two ways about it. We brought sectarianism into football, you know what I mean? On both sides. Because times were different then, you know what I mean? Things were really different. There wasn't as much knowledge, there wasn't the internet and all that. We didn't know the things we know. We're able to educate ourselves now. And we're able to communicate with each other because of the internet. You've got to remember, when you segregate a community, you don't talk. All we did is throw stones at each other. We didn't talk to each other, you know? So, yeah, it's like, them days are gone now. Even though the segregation is still there, we can talk. We're communicating with each other, you know? And the government can't stop that, but the government don't like it because the government wanted to segregate it. They wanted the Protestants and Catholics segregated forever. You know, why is there more peaceful walls now? Why, since the ceasefires were called in 95, 96, is there more peace walls in Belfast dividing the communities now than there was then? Surely when there's peace, the walls should come down. That's a question that needs asked and answered. You know, because we're all being hard, all of us. We're all being hard. And we've still got fractions of our communities, like I say, you know, supporting Palestine because they don't know any different. You know what I mean? Most guys since October the 6th have went, it's not, you know. And a lot of, believe you me, I know this, a lot of IRA men turned their back since October the 6th, you know. This is the thing. I've been in jail with IRA men in England. I was in jail with an IRA man. You know, he was doing 8 years, I was doing 6. Both were armed robberies. He was from Andersontown, you know what I mean? And be honest with you, we stood back to back. We stood back to back. Not in Aylesbury, we really did. Like, and like we had this fucking, sorry for swearing, but we had this, we could wire 2 speakers together. If you wire 2 speakers together, they work like walkie-talkies. The vibration goes through the copper so you can talk and listen, you know, without electricity. And we used to wire speakers up and put the wire through the window. And we used to play battleships. We did UVF and IRA battleships. You know, it was an amazing relationship, and it was brilliant being able to talk. And that's why I am the way I am today, because of who I've met in life. You know, and it is. And I owe quite a lot to that man, believe it or not. Because he did. He opened my eyes, because I was 18 years old and been brought up in a sectarian segregated community. And never met a Catholic. Never met an IRA man. You know, but the two of us had a common denominator. We were both young men, we were both doing a long time, and we were both in an English jail. And we had problems in that English jail, and the only way we would have survived was by coming together, you know. So, you know, we're all growing up, and you never know what's around the corner now. It's like, it's a funny old world, but it's really good to see people coming together right now, and I know a lot of people will hate it. There's, like I say, there's a small minority. And it's mostly the younger ones, because they missed out on it all, and they hear the stories that we say, and it sounds exciting, and they would like that to come back, which is understandable for young men, you know what I mean? It's like, what else is there? There's nothing there, you know. The armies, you know, nobody wants to join the army anymore because of the NICET and the diversity hires, and why would you want to go to war with somebody that you don't trust? You know what I mean? Used to be the army was full of real hard men, you know. There were certain limits and guidelines you had to pass, not anymore. But I could go on, you know what I mean? But it's been a very difficult time in Northern Ireland especially. And Scotland has had its fair share as well, division between communities. And it's like, Scotland, it's across the water. It shouldn't be, you know what I mean? There shouldn't be any division between Protestants and Catholics. But this is the whole point I'm trying to make as well, you know what I mean? The government want us to be divided in every way, you know? And I can prove that, because look at Northern Ireland. When Protestants and Catholics do come together in any situation outside Northern Ireland, they become friends and close. I've witnessed it over and over again, and there's so many people watching this right now are saying, you're right, I've met a Catholic or I've met a Protestant, and you know what I mean? And it's ridiculous that I've got to say here, I never met a Catholic until I was 18. You know what I mean? That's nuts. Nuts. why any government would allow that. Imagine segregating children. Like, still in the day, there's Protestants and Catholic schools. Protestants and Catholics start school at a different time so they don't clash on the bus. So you're sending kids to segregated school and you wonder why they grow up hating each other. You know, it's like I say, I'm just a guy in a forest. I shouldn't be able to say this, and like, this should be common thing, and the government should be on top of it, and we should all be living in harmony, you know. But it's no longer about us anymore. There's a bigger picture, and we're not really in that picture, to be honest with you, and that's the truth, you know. And I'm not a scaremonger or a conspiracy theorist. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, and I've only been doing it for nearly 4 weeks now. And the thought of ever doing this, if somebody had said to me at any time in my life that I would be on camera talking to strangers, I would have laughed at them. But like I say, I've got a wee girl coming, and I am absolutely terrified of what's ahead when she's 20, 30, you know. And I don't even want to think what society's going to be like when she's got kids of her own. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm making people aware that we cannot be divided any longer in this country. We have to stay together. There's a reason why we're being divided, because we're easier to manage in two separate communities. And they're doing it with the Muslims as well. There's dividing us down there as well, you know what I mean? And that's not going to end well, I can assure you, you know, because it's two-tier, you know what I mean? Just like Ireland, you know what I mean, was two-tier. Thanks for the comment, Ali, by the way. That was like, yeah, content, you know what I mean? It's like amazing, you know what I mean? And she's right. She is right. This happened in Ireland. I've seen it. It did. Catholics, it was two-tier. Protestants were getting a lot more than Catholics. The big places like the shipyard and shots that made the airplanes and all that. You know, Catholics were never getting a job in there, and it was bad. You know what I mean? It was bad, and you know, it's not my place to apologise, but you know, I do feel like I need to apologise because my side got it off better. You know what I mean? And that's not fair. So it's not. And some people, well, this is what happens. This is the other end of the stick, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Which is fair enough, but that doesn't mean I have to sit down and lie down and take it. That's all I'm about right now. My daughter coming, you know. Have a good day, guys. Hope this give you a wee bit of insight about the crack with Northern Ireland, Scotland, Rangers, Celtic, you know, Palestinian, and the connection. Have a good day.